Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Eden's Fun Crochet. I'm Eden and welcome to this video about a sock.
Edensfuncrochet.
I'm going to stick this in the pocket of my sock bag because I don't want my stitches to fall off. Yeah, I did a couple rows of that, which makes me really excited. I am now realizing that most of this video is going to be in darkness because I will not turn the light on until 7 o'clock so that I don't accidentally wake up my kids. / if they wake up, then they don't think that it's time to be awake because all the lights are on. Anyway, so enjoy this video of darkness. There are definitely parts of this ribbing that look better than other parts where my knits and my purls aren't lining up. But I don't really care. This one looks pretty nice actually, because I got the hang of it really quick. My problem with this is my first couple rows were before, like a while ago. And so I had to get the hang of it. Like, I feel like it matters less in the first couple of rows. And I'm pretty sure I started this over. I have no idea how many stitches I need, so I will not be starting this over. And I kind of just want to get it done so I can move on, so that I can make more socks. And because I have lots of sock yarn, not a lot for someone who doesn't make socks. I am really looking forward to having this time to become a sock person. So this one has 54 and this one has 54. So I wrote down 54 and I will be undoing this and redoing this. Although now that kids are awake, I will just be undoing it, putting it away, and starting over tomorrow. So I undid it. I will cast on the 54 stitches tomorrow and hopefully get a few rows done. I got a lot done. I basically did the amount that I had for this cuff. This is a really short cuff. I think I got bored of it really fast. As you saw from the footage so far, I started, let me see. I have a 9-inch circular needle. I had maybe like 3 rows on it. I didn't want to undo it because I was worried that I'd like not get the right amount of stitches. But I did several rows and my like knit purls were not lining up and it's just a mess. So I did undo it, sadly. But now that I am more confident in my ability to knit and purl, I'm going to restart tomorrow morning. And I wrote down the number of stitches that I had, and I did check the one sock that I have already, which I made when my 3-year-old was a month old. So like 2.5 years ago. Anyway, August of 22 is when I made this sock. I reprinted the pattern. I don't know if I had it printed the first time or if I just went off my phone, but I figured it'd be just easier if I do stop to know, to like have it written down what I did. I don't remember if I paid for this or if it was free, but it is Vanilla Socks on 9-inch Circulars by Kay Litton. So this sock is a funky sock. It's really loose in some ways on me specifically, and like, I don't know. I don't have a sock blocker. I want sock blockers. I'll get there one day. Okay, so first of all, this is too loose. Second of all, I have several, you can't see it because it's on the wrong side, but there are several loose stitches right here. Very loose. Like right where these decreases are, especially where my big toe is, are super holy. And when I bought this pattern, I bought it specifically because I had 9-inch circulars and that was it. And then after I got the pattern, it says that I need double pointed needles and a 32-inch cable. So I did this whole pattern that's supposed to have 2 other knitting sets, knitting needles, I guess, I don't know, anyway, on 9-inch circulars because that's what I had, and I did not have anything other than these 9-inch circulars. But since then, I have purchased 2 sets of DPNs. A metal set and a wooden set because I know there's a huge controversy between wooden and metal, and I wouldn't even say controversy, just like preferences. Some people will swear by metal and some people won't even touch them, so slash vice versa. So I got both. I so far really like using these metal ones. I will probably be a metals gal. I so far just really like these. My plan is to at some point get a interchangeable needle set. Anyway, so these are not all my knitting needles actually. I inherited some that I have never used. But these are all the ones that I have purchased. These are the only ones I've used. These are falling out of the bottom. I have no sock. I have about an hour every morning to work on this. A few months ago, I started waking up early, and I felt like it was a really good time to work on a specific project of mine that was very mindful. It was a very mindful project, and I had a hard time working on it with my girls, and my girls are 100% of my life, and except when I'm at work, but I can't crochet when I'm at work, so I started working on the mindful project in the mornings before my girls woke up, and then after I finished that project, I used that time for pattern writing and working on like pattern stuff. But I am not currently working on a pattern, and so as soon as I finished working on that, my mornings kind of started slipping away from me. I started falling asleep on the couch, so then I just go back to bed, and within a week, I was not waking up early, not going to bed at a good time, and it's been probably about a month. It was right around when my husband stopped going to school. So since like the beginning of December, I have not been doing very well because before my husband would be at school or work in the evenings, and so I'd have my evenings to myself anyway, so going to bed early wasn't that hard. This sock, I have discussed it in my whips video, and just anytime I talk to anybody about it, it is a very mindful project. It is the biggest reason I don't work on it. This sock got done on a road trip, a 16-hour one-way drive where I was not driving. I was sitting next to my 1-year-old baby and taking care of her and stuff. And so I did this whole sock in that trip. It was 32 hours of actual driving time. I did not knit. I did not knit the entire time, but a good portion of it went into this sock. I immediately cast on the second sock. I think I have cast on the second sock at least 3 times. I'm hoping this is the time. This is the one. And I was actually talking to my husband about this. I was like, I need a mindful project to work on in the morning. I don't really currently have anything that's that mindful, so I should start something. And then it dawned on me, this sock is actually while I was editing my husband reacts video that I was like, I have a mindful project, a project I won't work on because of how mindful it is. So this is going to be my morning project. And because I'm not a knitter, basically anything knitting is a mindful project. So I might really get into knitting if I keep like having mindful mornings. So this will be perfect. I need my last stitch to be a purl, not a knit, so I'm just gonna drop this one and hope it's fine. Wow, that first row was really difficult, and it's supposed to be a circle, not a line, so I guess if I just keep going, that will fix that problem. My tension is terrible. I did them way looser this time, so hopefully it won't be that bad. The reason why I started over is because I have stitch markers. These are super cute. I got them from the Fiber Festival in Utah. They're super adorable. I don't remember which booth, who they were from. So I'm gonna be using these to kind of just like make sure that I'm knitting where I'm supposed to be knitting and purling where I'm supposed to be purling. So I'm gonna have a silver one be like at the beginning of my row, and then use the blue ones to be like the next stitch is a knit. So every time I see one of these, the next one is a knit. And so that's just kind of to be like, oh, I messed up somewhere, this is me starting over, instead of it just being off the whole time because one thing was wrong. Put my silver one on first, and then knit, I guess, and just see what happens. Okay, so I finished the first row and I started the second row. I ran out of stitch markers, so I'm actually using 2 silver ones. But I know which one is my starting because that's where my end is. Today is December 31st, the last day of the year. I have missed a few days recording in the mornings for this because I've been sick, so I've been sleeping in a little bit and not working on it. This morning I used my morning to do other things, so I did not work on it at all. But I just wanted to give a little update, make sure that I'm like following the timeline so that you know kind of where we're at. Today is December 31st. Today's December 31st, and I have not made any progress on it since whatever day it was last time. Today is January 1st. I have not touched the sock in a couple of days. This is where I'm at. So I am just gonna knit until it's the same size as the sock. The pattern calls for way longer cuff and way longer leg. I did not want it that tall. I should have made it a longer cuff. I think I was just eager to move on. So I think my next pair of socks will definitely have a longer cuff. Yeah, so I will start knitting. So I think I did 3 rows. This is really hard to see in this light. But it's starting to hurt my arm, like, I don't know. So I'm gonna be done for today. I think I worked on it for, it was less than an hour, but it was almost an hour. So this is the cuff. It is looking way better. Some of my stitches are kind of loose, still working on my tension, but not worried about that. And then I have a few rows of just knitting. And here's my sock that I've already made. And it is similar enough that we're good. And I did say, I'll show you the picture. I did say this already, but the cuff and the leg in the pattern is way longer than I made it. I think I was just eager to get it done, and I didn't really want it that long. So, anyway, there you go. This is what I've done so far. I think I was at like 3 rows of just the knit after the cuff, and now I'm to here. This is what I've done this morning. I've even been like watching YouTube while working on it because it's not very mindful at the moment. I think I totally overestimated how hard this would be, which is funny because I already made a sock, but that was also 3 years ago, and I don't know, I just feel like I made it as a mind block thing, you know, like I feel like I made it up in my head how hard this was going to be. And I didn't think it was going to be super hard because I did it before. I just thought that it would take more attention, and it probably will once I get to the heel. But this part is pretty straightforward. I just knit all the way around. And I feel like I kind of felt that way before too, especially if you look at my work. That's where it's the prettiest and the most consistent in tension. Like, the cuff looks okay, but the tension is definitely needs some help. And then as soon as I start doing the heel, my tension gets really loose. Not even where the heel is, but that row where I started the heel, my tension is really loose all the way around. And this part where it's mostly just knits is also pretty, like, good tension-wise. And then this part where my decreases suck because I was using 9-inch circulars the whole time. So this is what I have so far on the heel. It said to do a certain amount of rows. When I counted this one, it was not that amount of rows. So I've just been kind of like eyeballing it. I would count my rows, but I don't think, I did at one point, but I don't think it will help because my tension was different then. Like, this is a lot more consistent tension than this is. And so I've been measuring it, like, comparing it. And I've still got, like, a noticeable amount left. So I'm just gonna keep going. This is, yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy with it. I do have DPNs that I could switch to because it recommends that for the heel, just so that you have this part on your circulars and then you're doing this part on DPNs so that it's not connected. And I have DPNs. I've never used them. I have wooden ones that are the right size, and then I have metal ones that are a size 2, and I'm using metal ones. And so I was worried that my tension would change too much if I switched to wood, but my metal ones are bigger, and so I don't want to do that either. So far, I really like these needles. I don't remember the brand at all. I bought them at a booth at my fiber festival. It is currently 6:40. Nope, that was wrong. 5:40. It is 5:40. The light is on, but I've also switched my kids' bedrooms this weekend. My kids were in a room with a door that has a window on it, and so I've been like, light has been a problem. Like, I don't want to wake them up with the light being on. But they aren't in that room anymore. They have the bigger room with a real door, which doesn't actually close all the way because I put one of those like hangy things on the back of the door, and it worked fine on our bedroom door, but it does not fit on their bedroom door apparently. Oh, I've just been knitting across. I'm not supposed to be knitting across. I'm supposed to knit one, slip one. Slip the third one, so I at least don't have to go all the way back. Okay. So there's one more row. I don't know why that row was so tight. I'll have to try and loosen it up. Anyway, today is the 7th. I almost said December 7th. It's January 7th. So it is now 6 o'clock. This is how much I've done. Well, how much I have done. I probably only did like 3 or 4 rows. But because it got so tight, like, I don't know what happened. You can even see it, like, in the stitches, how tight it is right there. So, anyway, it was hurting my hand. I did try to loosen it up a little bit. I don't know how good of a job I did. But I'm going to be done for today, and I'm going to work on my sweater. Yesterday I knitted on this sock for over 2 hours and I made a decent amount of progress. I finished the heel. I did the heel decreases and turn, and then I picked up all of these stitches and I knit several rows. I did most of this yesterday. I did a bit this morning, maybe like 2 or 3 rows. Anyway, it makes me really happy. I have lots of plans already for other socks. So far, I have plans for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of socks. It's fine. I'm fine. I just want to finish this so that I can cast on more. If I had another pair of these needles, I probably already would have cast on more socks. So the pattern that I'm using is by the Crazy Sock Lady, and she has a YouTube tutorial. And she has 3 sizes. 3 sizes, which is small, medium, and large. I did a small. I did 2 stitches less than a small, so this is small. And it is too big on me. It fits my husband really nicely. And so I will knit his in the size small probably when I make his next. But I did the math between, like, because the numbers between her small and her medium and her large are the same. So I did the math and I made an extra small, and I wrote down all the numbers on here to make an extra small sock. So when I go back and I make myself another pair, it will be using the extra small size. But because I already have 1 sock finished, I'm trying to make this the same, or at least similar size to the one I made before. And it looks like I will have plenty of yarn left over to make another pair, especially if I do contrasting toes, heels, and cuffs, which I totally want to do. So make that 6 pairs of socks planned to make. Anyway, so that's a little update. Oh, today is December. You okay? It is not December. It's January. January 12th. Yesterday was January 11th, which is when I made most of this progress. This sock makes me so happy. Just the fact that I'm knitting socks makes me so happy, because this is something I wanted to do for a long time. I don't know. I do know why. I had babies. 2 little tiny babies when I made this first one. But I feel like this is going to be the year of the sock for me. I don't know if I will ever make more socks in a year than this one. Watch, I'm going to get to December and this is still going to be on the needles. No, knock on wood. I have no wood. Well, I'll knock on wood when I get there, but knock on wood for me. There you go. That this will not take me that long. And if you're wondering about the super adorable bag, it is by Minty Pop Designs. I was going to say thanks for watching, but this is not the end of this video. Sock update time. Today, it's December. Nope, January. I don't know why that's so hard for my brain. January 14th. Like, I don't usually have this hard time with a new month, but apparently it being a new year is just too hard for my brain. It is January 14th. This is where I am on my sock. I have finished the gusset decreases, and I have now started the body. So now I'm just going until it's about the same length as this one when I start the toe decreases. I am so excited to do my next pair. I think my next pair I'm going to do the same pattern but on DP ends. And I'm even going to do the same size but make the foot a little bit longer and have them fit my husband. This one fits my husband pretty well, except for the fact that this is a little too short. When I do mine again, I'm either going to do a size small, which I did the math, an extra small, which I did the math for, or a whole new pattern. So I am ready to do my decreases for the toe. I went ahead and I put it on DPNs, and I've done 1 row so far on the DPNs, and it's working well. Last time I did not have DPNs. I did it on the 9-inch circulars because that's all I had, even though the pattern said to use 32-inch circulars, but I didn't have 32-inch circulars. I did the 9-inch circulars, and it was a pain in the rear. And so I'm trying it on the DPNs, and it's so much better. So I'm doing the same amount of stitches. The rows might not be the same count, but the stitches are the same as this sock. 1 second, I'll give it back to you in a second. And they're lined up on this side. You can see the stitches, these are significantly tighter. So this is gonna be way smaller than this one. So that's where I'm at right now. I was so close to finishing this yesterday, but it was late. I was playing a game, and anyway, so I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna finish this before I do anything else. Today is January 17th. Yeah, January 17th. It is 7 a.m.
Where's the fake garbage? Yay! And baby. I am baby like.
The sock is finished. Wow, this looks really small compared to this one.
Ah! Me?
And it's too small. I didn't make the foot long enough. So it doesn't fit, it's too small. I finished my first pair of socks, guys. I'm not surprised. I mean, it is a learning curve, right? I'm a little sad that they're not really wearable. I was hoping that it would be the same as this one, because then they would still be wearable, just a little too big, but I can't.
Are you redoing it? Is that what you decided?
Yeah, I'm just gonna undo both of them. I think I'll go ahead and start yours. And, I mean, I can't wear these. I won't wear them. I might have worn this one just because of how much love I put into them, but...
Yeah, but I mean also you can just make them again until they're good. Like, until they fit you well.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna
It's
try
sad,
it again.
but I get it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first pair of socks I ever made. 2 years apart from each other. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't gonna work. You know, you kind of already knew that halfway through the sock. I finished today. I started this the day after Christmas, December 26th. Today is the 17th. Okay, Tyler, question for you. The sock that I make you, what size do you want me to make it? Like, as far as the small, medium, large go for the pattern that I've made. Like, these are both small. What would you like me to make you?
I don't know. I feel like under normal circumstances, like when you buy socks, there's only small, medium, and large is normally fit my feet almost the best.
Really? Not a medium?
But it depends. on the sock.
Well, these were both smalls. And this
So
one
I'm
fit you pretty
assuming
well.
medium would be good,
You want me to do a medium?
but I have no idea.
I don't know. It's just the first one I did fit you pretty well. So if I make the medium, it might be too big.
It's professional to it.
I'm sad.
Mm.
When I remake these socks, we have to watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
While you're making the socks?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Yeah, right.
Did you just ask me why? Because when we went to the Fiber Festival that first time, and we were staying at an Airbnb, and that first day I bought this yarn and the needles and even stitch markers, like needle stitch markers, and we sat in that little room and on the bed with the TV in the room, and we watched Pirates of the Caribbean. And so whenever I work on these, it always makes me think of Pirate of the Caribbean. Like, these colors in my brain are now just Pirate of the Caribbean colors. So this is my untouched ball of yarn. And sock 1 from 2 years ago, and sock 2. Okay, before you get mad at me, I want you to know that you are not sadder than I am. This yarn cost me $30. I'm not gonna keep a pair of socks I'm not gonna wear. They were completely different sizes. It didn't work out. The one I just made didn't even fit me. So I will be making another pair. I'm gonna go ahead and put these on hold, and I'm gonna make my husband a pair of socks with yarn that he bought, I think the same time we bought these yarns at the Fiber Festival, different booth. I did in fact knit a pair of socks. Were they wearable? No. Were they very good? No. Was it a learning experience? Yes. Am I sad by it? A little bit. Am I gonna make another pair? Definitely. This is the beginning of the sock era. I'm too motivated to stop now. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry that it had a sad ending. If you're mad at me, then thank you for being as invested in this as I am.